A gentle shock to start. Almost no 80-year-old can drop to the floor and rise smoothly without using their hands. If you still can, your body is telling a younger story than your birth certificate. Tonight, we'll explore what that move really measures, and the 3 companion abilities that quietly predict whether your years will feel light, capable, and joyfully independent. Stay to the end, because the last one is the hidden key that most fitness plans skip entirely, and it's the one that makes everyday life feel easier within weeks. Take a breath with me. Have you tried this lately? Not as a stunt, but as a conversation with your body. Sit to the floor at your own pace. Rise as if you're getting up from a picnic. No rush, no heroics, just you, gravity, and grace. Whether you can or can't in this moment, notice the message. Where does it feel smooth? Where does it snag? Hold that awareness gently. We'll transform it into something practical and kind. Have you ever asked why this simple act, down to the floor, back up, feels so revealing? It's not a party trick. It's a composite of strength, flexibility, coordination, and balance. Researchers in preventive cardiology have used a related sit-rise score to predict health outcomes, not as fate, but as a strong hint about how your systems are aging together. According to organizations like Mayo Clinic, maintaining muscle and joint range matters for metabolic health, mobility, and even fall prevention. The floor test captures all 3 in one humble motion. It's a full-body whisper. In daily life, the impact is obvious. If you can sit on the floor and rise without using your hands, getting out of a low car, tying shoes, gardening, playing with grandkids, picking up something you dropped under the table, everything feels less risky, more natural. It's not about athleticism. It's about autonomy. You don't need to work out to pass. You need to move in ways your joints remember and your muscles trust. The floor is honest, and it loves practice. Your floor is freedom. Let's make this practical right now, with compassion. If hips or knees protest, you do not force this. You scale it. Start with chair sit to stands. Cross arms over your chest, stand up, sit down, slowly, 10 times, breathing steadily. Then graduate to a lower surface, like a firm ottoman. Practice half-kneeling transitions, 1 knee down, 1 foot forward, using a countertop or sturdy chair for fingertip support. Over days, shift from whole hand support to 2 fingers to no hands. Let your legs and core do more of the conversation. Physical therapists often teach a hip hinge. Push your hips back, keep your spine long, use your glutes like springs. If lying down feels accessible, try a partial get up. Roll to your side, prop to your elbow, then to your hand, then to a tall sit, then reverse. You're not chasing a score. You're teaching your body a friendly sequence. 2 truths, 1 path, safer. There's a story here. A 76-year-old named Marta told me she was afraid of the floor. After a fall years ago, she avoided anything low. We built a morning ritual, a cushion on a rug, 1 knee down with the counter nearby, 3 slow rises, then tea. In 6 weeks, she was playing cars on the floor with her grandson. She didn't get younger. She moved younger. That distinction matters. A brief correction, offered with warmth. There is no single move that proves you're aging backwards. Biology is multifactorial. Genetics, sleep, nutrition, stress, and social connection all play roles. This floor test is a powerful snapshot, not a destiny stamp. Another correction. If a joint replacement or arthritis limits you, that's not a moral failure. You adapt. You can still train the same qualities with elevations and supports and feel the same wins in daily life. Progress, not perfection, always. Here's your closing move for this block. 5 minutes, 3 times a week. Choose any mix of chair stands, half-kneel transitions, and partial get-ups with support. Keep a tiny journal. Date, what you practiced, how it felt. Celebrate ease more than speed. In a month, test your floor again, gently. 2 capacities, 1 outcome. Confidence. Stillness, then a pivot. Surprising insight. A quiet ability predicts independence almost as strongly as strength does, standing on one leg for 10 seconds. Balance might seem small. It's not. Studies in aging populations have linked single-leg stance to fall risk and overall mortality risk. Not because the pose is magic, but because balance is brain-body synchronization in real time. Neurologists often remind us that balance is a sensory symphony. Eyes, inner ear, joints, and the brain's predictions coordinate to keep you upright. When the orchestra plays well, life feels stable. In the real world, balance keeps you safe in the shower, steady on uneven sidewalks, and calm when a dog pulls the leash. It lets you put on pants standing. It makes curbs boring again. And maybe most important, it teaches your nervous system trust. When you sway, you recover. Your heart rate doesn't spike with every wobble. Your breath stays soft. Stable systems manage surprises better. Balance is borrowed stillness. Try this with support near you. Stand facing the kitchen counter. Lightly rest your fingertips. Lift 1 foot a few inches. Breathe. Count to 10. If you wobble, smile and lower. Practice 3 small rounds per side. Over weeks, reduce fingertip support. Turn your head slowly left to right to ask your inner ear to join the team. Then play with eyes gaze changes. Start with eyes open. If that's easy, look down, then ahead again. When ready, try a soft focus gaze at the floor 6 feet away. Calves and hips are your best friends here. Tight calves pull you forward. Weak hips let you tilt. Add 3 slow heel raises and 3 slow side leg lifts to each practice. 2 joints, 1 job, stability. There's another story. Paul, 72, used to sit on the bed to put on socks because he didn't want to risk it. He began brushing teeth on one leg with a fingertip on the sink, switching legs halfway. 3 weeks later, he was standing sock by sock without support. Tiny habit, big dividend. He didn't add an hour to his day. He added confidence to his routine. A thoughtful correction belongs here. If you need to hover a hand over the counter or tap the wall, it still counts. You're training the nervous system, not auditioning for the ballet. Another correction. Balance wobbles are not failures. They're the brain gathering data. The wobble is the workout. According to Harvard Health and Physical Therapy literature, practices like Tai Chi improve proprioception and reduce fall risk. They also tend to improve mood because mastery builds agency. Calm progress is potent. If you want one nice booster, try the clock reach. Imagine a clock under your foot. Standing on your left leg with light support nearby, tap your right toes to 12, 3, 6, 9, and back to 12. Switch legs. 3 quiet rounds, 2 or 3 times per week. Add slow head turns if that's easy. In a month, many people notice stair confidence improve and shower steadiness transform. 2 practices, 1 payoff, assurance. Before we continue, pause for a breath. Notice how your shoulders feel. Notice the ground under your feet. If these ideas are helping, consider subscribing. We explore topics like this every week, slowly, clearly, and with a lot of respect for your wisdom and your time. Now, imagine you step off a curb as the light turns yellow. Your body decides in a blink whether to stroll or surge. That decision depends on a simple, predictive measure: your natural walking speed. Researchers who study aging sometimes call gait speed a 6th vital sign. Faster isn't about competitiveness, It's about reserve. People who can cruise at a brisk pace, about the speed you'd use if you were comfortably late, tend to have better cardiovascular health, stronger legs, and sharper executive function. In several cohorts, quicker walkers live more independently and recover from illness more smoothly. It's not a race, it's a rhythm. In everyday terms, gait speed is the difference between "I'll make that light" and "I'd better wait." It's catching a bus without panic. It's feeling free to explore a new neighborhood or to keep up with a friend who chatters as you walk. It is quite literally the pace of your life, and it stacks with the first two abilities. If you can rise from the floor and stay balanced, walking becomes effortless. If you can walk with intention, those first two get easier. These qualities braid together. Walk like you have somewhere to be. Let's turn that into a playful self-check. Mark out a safe path of about 40 meters, down the hallway, across a park path, or along a quiet sidewalk. Warm up for a minute at an easy pace, then walk the path as if you're meeting someone you like for coffee and you're a little late, but you can still hold a conversation. Breathe through your nose if possible. Time it once, then just notice the feel. Are your arms swinging gently? Are you pushing off your toes, not just lumping forward from your hips? Do your feet land under your center or far ahead? Small changes, arm swing, toe push, posture, add up. On another day, repeat and jot the time for curiosity, not judgment. A calm correction, shorter legs, or a more careful stride do not doom you. We care about your personal improvement and your effortless feel, not someone else's number. Another correction. If joints complain, the answer is not always more speed. Sometimes it's better mechanics, softer surfaces, interval pacing, or supportive shoes. According to cardiology and gerontology sources, Zone 2 effort, brisk but conversational, builds endurance and supports metabolic health beautifully. That can look like 2 10-minute purposeful walks a day, post-meal strolls, or hill repeats at a gentle grade. 2 sessions, 1 result, capacity. Consider a small weekly pattern you can keep even on a hard week. On Monday and Thursday, take a 15-minute purposeful walk where you could talk in full sentences. On Tuesday and Saturday, add a 3-minute tempo burst in the middle where speaking in long sentences would be tough. If you own a wearable, great. If not, the talk test is enough. Pair these with your chair stands and balance practice, and your world begins to change shape. The coffee shop gets closer, the uphill driveway gets shorter, your breath joins your steps like an old friend. A peek at the near future, clinicians are beginning to use gait speed and variability captured from smart devices as digital biomarkers for biological age. But you don't need a device to know what your body already tells you. When life feels easier at your chosen pace, you're heading the right way. 2 indicators, 1 message, youthful. Before the final piece, 1 more deep breath. Here's a personal note that might surprise you. Years ago, I taught my grandfather a little drill. March in place slowly while naming 5 cities he loved, then 5 fruits, then 5 friends. He laughed when he stumbled on the last category and said, "It's hard to think and move at once." That, right there, is the 4th hidden key. The ability to coordinate brain and body under a tiny bit of pressure, and then recover quickly when you stop. If you can do this smoothly, you don't just feel younger, you function younger. 2 things are woven together here. The first is dual tasking, doing a simple cognitive task while moving. In research on older adults, dual task cost, the performance drop when you add mind to motion, predicts fall risk better than either task alone. The second is heart rate recovery, how much your pulse drops in the first minute after moderate exertion. According to cardiology literature, a faster early recovery suggests resilient autonomic balance. Your brakes still work. Together, these 2 paint a picture of adaptable youthfulness. You can pay attention while you move, and your body knows how to relax after effort. Coordination is cognition. Let's experience this safely. Stand near a counter. March slowly for 30 seconds while naming any 5 items in a category: countries, flowers, movies, songs, spices. If you need to slow the march to think, good. That's the point. Notice how it feels. Now rest. Place 2 fingers on your pulse at your collarbone or wrist, or note your device's reading if you wear one. Do a light set of step-ups on a low stair for a minute, then sit and breathe. Count your pulse at the 15-second mark and multiply by 4. After 1 minute of rest, count again. Did it drop by a noticeable amount? Lovely. If not, no problem. This improves with practice, sleep, and consistent, gentle conditioning. A careful correction: if you live with cardiovascular disease, dizziness, or balance disorders, talk to your clinician before playing with these drills. Start seated if needed, and skip the heart rate part until you get the all clear. Another correction: making the mental task easier at first, like alternating A-B-A-B with each step, or naming 2 colors. Still trains the system. You don't earn extra points for complexity. As cognitive neuroscientists like to say, the brain is a prediction machine. You're teaching it to make and update predictions while your body moves. That's not just safer, it's liberating. Here's a simple weekly resilience trio you can add to your life without turning it into a project. On 2 days, do a gentle circuit. 1 minute of step-ups or marching, 1 minute of easy arm movements, 1 minute of deep breathing through the nose, then check your pulse recovery at 1 minute. On 2 other days, take a stroll and do a dual task. Every 10 steps, name 1 fruit. Then every 10 steps, subtract by 3s from 100. Then switch to naming friends or streets from childhood. It's okay if you laugh when you stumble. That laughter is the stress leaving your body. 2 practices, 1 adaptation, resilience. A small story for heart. Sana 80 used to freeze at crosswalks when the beeping started. We began pairing her afternoon walk with alphabet categories: A for animals, B for books, C for cities, while walking a quiet loop. After a month, she still moved cautiously, but her eyes no longer widened at the curb. "My feet and my thoughts are friends again," she said. That is youth, at any age. Let's gather the threads. If you can get down to the floor and rise smoothly, stand one-legged with calm steadiness, walk with purposeful pace, and coordinate mind and motion while recovering quickly after effort, you are, by any practical measure, aging in reverse where it counts, in function, freedom, and felt vitality. You don't need perfection to claim this. You just need a gentle practice that respects your history and loves your future. A few gentle debunks to carry with you. First, the number in the title is a provocation, not a diagnosis. Some 80-year-olds do pass the floor test with grace. Many who can't today could learn with training, appropriate medical care, and patience. Second, balance doesn't vanish. It answers practice. Even a fingertip on the counter sends confidence up the chain. Third, gait speed is not a character test. Shorter or careful strides are not moral failures. We measure so we can improve, not so we can shame. Fourth, heart rate recovery and dual tasking adapt. Better sleep, hydration, and regular movement shift them week by week. Compassion accelerates progress. Now, turn this into an elegant routine you can keep. Here is a quiet 7-day rhythm, written like a story, not a spreadsheet. On waking, you sit tall and breathe for a minute, then do 5 chair stands. At midday, you take a purposeful 10-minute walk, arms swinging, eyes soft on the horizon. Before dinner, you stand beside the counter and practice 3 rounds of 10-second single-leg balance per side with tiny head turns. Every other day, you add a minute of step-ups and check your pulse recovery after a minute of rest, just to say hello to your heart's brakes. Once a week, you play on the floor with a cushion and a sturdy chair, practicing a kind, supported half-kneel rise and a partial get-up if it's appropriate for your body. If anything hurts, you scale. If anything scares you, you ask a professional to coach you. You don't grind, you groove. 2 weeks later, you notice the curb feels friendly. A month later, you realize you haven't reached for the wall in the shower in days. 6 weeks later, you try the floor test again and smile at how your body answers. 2 seasons, 1 arc, younger. Anchors help. Choose a short line for each ability and repeat it when you practice. For the floor, your floor is freedom. For balance, balance is borrowed stillness. For walking, walk like you have somewhere to be. For resilience, coordination is cognition. Whisper them like gentle instructions and watch how your posture responds. Since you're still here, imagine next week. You're at the park. A grandchild drops a toy. You kneel, pick it up, and rise without thinking. A friend calls across the grass. You stroll briskly to meet them, not winded, laughing. On the way home, you step off a curb as the light blinks, steady and calm. Later, you climb your front steps with your grocery bag, and as your heart settles within a minute, you remember your list of spices as you put them away. Cumin, cinnamon, coriander, paprika, thyme, and smile. This is what aging backwards feels like from the inside. Not a mirror trick, a life trick. To finish, here's your compact, actionable checklist you can say out loud tonight. I will practice standing from a chair with grace. I will balance with a fingertip and then with a breath. I will walk with intention for 10 quiet minutes. I will play a memory game as I move and notice my pulse return. That's 4 choices. That's a new trajectory. That's a game changer. If this helped, you'll love our calm deep dive on restoring balance and fall-proofing your everyday life after 50, where we blend gentle strength, vision drills, and confidence training into a practice that fits in your day without stealing your joy. Not professional advice. Consult a qualified expert as needed. Always consult a qualified expert. And always do what feels right for you.